Hi, my name is Tracy Pratt, and I'm the teacher librarian at Rodriguez High School Library in Fairfield. And this is just a short overview of how I keep school library statistics for my school library. And first of all, I just want to point out that public and academic libraries have always kept statistics. And when I talk about statistics, circulation is only a tiny part. You also should be counting how many people are using the library, like a head count. So you can see this is an example of a snapshot for an academic library commons, and they had 284 students go to in-class instruction. They had over 2,600 reference questions. So this is just a small thing, a small snapshot of what libraries track, and it's essential in terms of showing what the library is being used for and securing funding, justifying staff, and all of those things. It's really no different for a school library. And so I'm just going to show you how I do it, which is not perfect and it's not the only way. This is a way that works for me. I do it in two ways. I keep a schedule book, which mine is print, but of course you can keep it electronically, what works for you. And then I have a sign in sheet for students. So my schedule book is going to have four things in it. First, it's going to track all the instruction that I do. So this is the number of classes and then the number of students as well. So if I'm teaching an information literacy class, if I'm talking about how to use library resources, if I'm doing it as a class group, then this counts as in my schedule book. Sometimes I'm the test administrator, which is just a reality of being a school librarian. And so for if I'm administering the PSAT test, then I'm going to count the number of students and I am doing that for. Then I also have facility use. So this is when people come in, use classes, teachers, and so on, come in and use the library, not for instruction. I don't teach anything, but they just want to be able to spread out and do a project, or maybe they're doing an intensive group activity that they need more space for. So they schedule the library as a facility to use for that. And so this is what I hate right here. Um, I hate an empty library. And I want a full and busy library. So whatever I can do to encourage usage, I try to do. And I'm sure there are ways I can improve in that as well. And then finally, the last thing I count in my schedule book is checkout. So some classes, even at the high school level, do schedule a time for their students to come in and check out. This is something I'm encouraging and working with teachers to encourage them to do that, but it's still a work in progress. So then the second way I keep numbers is students who come on their own during class time must have a hall pass, and therefore they have to sign in on a simple student sign-in sheet. And so that is basically the way I count individual students who drift in to come print something, to come check out a book if they're done with all their work. And that is an essential part of my numbers. And then I have to grapple with the issue that we're open before and after school and then during lunch. And at times, um, I have experimented with different ways of keeping track. The problem is students don't really want to be bothered with signing in. It's one thing if it's during class, but on their own social time, on non-instructional time at school, they don't want to do it. So we experimented and we do a head count. So we simply count the number of students this who are in the library at a given time. And this definitely has precedence at both the public and university library. When I worked at Langston University, we did an hourly head count. We just walked through the library and it was on a big spreadsheet and we just counted the number of people in there. So this is a separate issue that I'm still trying to work out a best practice for, but people coming in on their own with reference questions, and it's oftentimes between classes. So we have a 7-minute passing period, and so they're not going to sign in. They don't need a pass. It's just a quick, hey, I need a textbook or I need a Chromebook or I'm going to go print something right quick. And so these are legitimate library interactions. I'm just working on, we're doing like a tick mark system. and that sometimes you just have to remember to do it. So, anywho, I'm going to finish with this wonderful quote for school librarians that I just wish I had more to do. But just keeping track of my students keeps me busy, and I have a library staff, and we all work together to keep track. And then finally, I'm going to end with this little joke. 644.5 to screw in a light bulb. So hopefully this will give you some guidance on how to keep accurate statistics for your library space.